Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Chicago White Sox March to October, and we are in the final stages. We are in the final series. We are in the World Series. Third season in a row making it to the World Series, and it's the third different opponent. The Atlanta Braves have stepped up to the plate to try and take us down, and they were the team that was kind of destined to make it to this point, destined to face us. Because for that first part of the year when we were going crazy with our record through the first 50, 60 games or so, the Braves were actually not too far behind. Like, we might have been 50 and 15 and they were like 45 and 20. They did kind of taper off as the season ended, finishing with 103 wins. Obviously not bad by any stretch of the word, but I feel like they didn't finish as hot as they started. I mean, we could see, I think that would be in the last 10 games of the regular season. That's a 5-5 record, but they have recaptured that fire, I guess, in the postseason because they only have 2 losses. We only have 1. We are 7-1 to this point. They're 7-2. They've had a loss in each round, but no series has gone more than 1 extra game. So before we hop into this game 1, we're going to do a little advanced scouting. We're going to look at what their team is looking like. And if you've been around for this entire season of the March to October, I definitely did look at them earlier in the year when I noticed how impressive they were. We took a look at their offense and it was kind of scary. I also should point out that we don't have any changes to our roster from last series to this one. Everything stayed the same. So let's take a look at these Braves, starting out with Ozzie Albies, up to a 96 overall, and he had a 45 home run season, 300 average, 362 on base. That's a pretty scary leadoff hitter. I mean, throw in 38 doubles too. And then their next guy, I don't know who this is. Oh, and he's okay. He's one of those guys that you see in every March to October postseason matchup, it feels like. Just a random call-up that hasn't played a single game in the MLB yet. And not only that, but he's in the starting lineup batting second. Acuna is all the way up to a 99, so that actually means that in our games, he'll be the best player on the field in terms of overall. We don't have any 99s. And he also had a 40-plus home run season, 45 doubles, another average over 300, good on base. Okay, this is, how about Matt Olson at first? 40 homers for him too. All right, I'm seeing the trend here. That's what, like 120 plus home runs just from 3 guys there. His average was also right up around 300, but on base even higher. How about Austin Riley? I'm guessing he's hit 40 also. No, only 25 for him. Okay, less power this year. He hit 40 the 2 before, but only 25. Still a good year. Definitely a good season. Higher on base than last year. Definitely not an easy out once his spot comes up in the order. Gio Urshela, their DH, had a 40 home run season. Really? With those numbers? He got one too? That's 4 40 home run guys. Did we even have that? I'm going to have to check. How about Mitch Haniger? He has a lot of power. What did he do? 37, only 3 shy. Also an average over 300 and on base up to 382. Dansby, what do you got? 27 bombs. It's like everyone is the same player. They've all had like the same season. Good power with an average right near around 300 and an on base about the same amount of points above the average. How about Alfaro? Does he break the trend? Not really. 23 bombs and the same average on base ratio applies. That is a scary lineup. I think the only person, well, I think the least amount of home runs was Alfaro with 23 besides this guy who didn't even play. How about their bench? Do they have anybody need to worry about here? This guy didn't do too much. He's kind of their speed fielding guy. Joe Mack, former trade target back in like year 2. He still hasn't really put it together. I don't know who this dude is, but I'm guessing, yeah, not too much from him. 8 doubles though. More speed and fielding. Jalen Miller. Do you have anything? No, he's pretty new to the bigs. And then William Contreras, they also offered me him in a trade, and he barely played this year. Okay, well, I knew that was how it was going to be. I remember from all the way back at the beginning, it was their offense that was super scary, but their pitching definitely lagged behind. It wasn't like crazy impressive. Man, and before we move on to their pitching, I wanted to check. We didn't have 4 40 home run guys. We had Luis Robert at 40, Eloy at 42, and then Shohei at 55. All right, let's take a look at their pitching. Mike Soroka, their ace. They actually have a pretty solid top 3 here. He, okay, he didn't do amazing, actually. Took a step back from the year before, ERA over 4. Not very many strikeouts at all, and his home runs allowed went up a bunch. Okay, that's not too scary of an ace then. And then their second starter was Ian Anderson at an 87 overall. He was a little bit better, more strikeouts, less hits, more walks though. 86 walks on the year, but he had a pretty good ERA, so he might be their best pitcher, actually. I don't know, Soroka could be tougher to face because he's got probably a better pitch mix. We'll see though. How about Ynoa? He had, okay, I mean, not impressive out of him either. His strikeouts were higher though, but the ERA, the whip, that's not anything crazy there. Their fourth starter then, down to an 80 overall, is Tuki Toussaint, and he, wow. So he's 18-3, but he had an ERA up at 4.75. A lot of walks, man. 95 walks, 152 whip, and then gets bailed out with 18 wins. Okay, so if we face him, just be patient, and that should be enough to do it. And then their last starter that we probably won't see at all, Kyle Muller. He didn't really pitch much, and when he did, he was bad. Is there anyone we have to worry about in their bullpen? They only have 2 80 overalls or higher, 1 righty and 1 lefty, but that doesn't mean they're the only good ones. This dude, their long reliever, he didn't pitch too much. He was decent enough. Jacob Webb didn't do that great. He got a lot of work though. Didn't give up a ton of home runs. I don't know, in only 56 innings. Is that a good rate? Maybe not. Over a home run per 9. About Yimi Garcia, okay, he did have a good year, and he has that good pitch mix, so he could be a tougher one, even though he's only a 70 overall. ERA under 3. Carlos Estevez, okay, I'm not seeing much from him either. Tyler Matzik, oh, he had a good year. 250 ERA, 49 innings, but his pitch mix isn't too scary looking. Andrew Chafin, he had a real good one. Not many innings pitched, only 20 innings, but in those 20 innings, he was real good. That might be the bullpen arm I'm most scared of. And then you got Ryan Presley, who he had 48 saves, but an ERA over 4, so he might be falling off a bit, but I guess still enough to get the job done most of the time. And that's it. That's their team. That's what we're up against. They're the second best team pretty clearly, but I still think that they don't really match up with us. I mean, we had 20 more wins than them. That's not a small amount. I feel like when you get up over 100 wins, you tend to think of the teams as the same, but if you took those 20 wins of difference between us and them, and then put that between them and 20 wins below that, then you're comparing them 103 win team to an 83 win team, and I think the difference is pretty clear. But we do have to climb out of a bit of a hole here in game 1. We're going to be down 2-1. We will have a runner on third, but 2 outs to start it out, so most likely we're going to have to do it on our own. So let's do it. Let's start the World Series, get game 1 going, and we need to spark a rally. And here we go. Luis Robert is our leadoff hitter. Mike Soroka is still on the mound. Let's take a second here to see what we got going on. Not a ton, only being 2-1. It's a Dansby homer for them, and then a couple doubles, and that's pretty much it. For us, we have a Tim Anderson, looks like RBI double. Moncada had a triple. That must be how he's on third now, I guess. That would make sense. And then Ohtani's given us 6 with 8 strikeouts. So yeah, we just got to put it together on offense. Get him the win. Oh, you know, yeah, I was just about to say we're not working with a crazy amount of velo here from Soroka, so I gotta wait back in general. Oh, and that's just too good. I didn't think I was that much off of it to completely whiff, but okay. I planned for that. I don't know why, but I didn't feel like I was going to cash in there. I feel like I never do, so I guess that's why. Gotta do it on our own. Ohtani only at 72 pitches. I think I'm going to leave him in till he gets to a rough spot. And also, I feel like I gotta mention, man, I love that these are the jerseys that have been broken out for game 1 of the World Series here. And there we go. First out, right to Luis Robert. Oh, and there we go. He's looking at the slider. Didn't really register to me that was strike 3. For some reason, I thought he took it and it was a ball. I mean, he did take it, but it wasn't a ball. Oh, I don't like that, but I think that looks like it's staying in. Yeah, they got robbed. Dansby could have had his second homer of the game, but it stayed in. All right, I mean, maybe that was a momentum swing towards us. Now it's time to do some damage. Oh, lean into it a little bit, Eloy. Oh? No, that's not... I didn't hit that hard enough, really? I know that's not an amazing swing, but with Eloy and 97 power, that didn't get deeper? Please get down. Okay, thanks. Because I swung at ball 4 there on a 3-2 count. But same result. We got the base hit. Keep the train moving there, man. Sheets got it started. They're taking out Soroka. Okay. Jacob Webb. I seem to remember he wasn't one of their better ones. At least by his stats. I don't remember what his attributes were looking like. 4-seam circle change curve. That should be simple enough. Oh, no, it's not. That curve... Whoa, that is a sharp breaking curve. And I almost timed it up. That was actually in a pretty good spot because that's strike 3 if I let it go. Alright, well I take back everything I said about this guy. He is tough. And there, that circle, I don't think he threw a single fastball. Well, I guess we keep with Shohei. I wish we were sticking with him because he still had to come up to the plate. But, we'll stick with him anyway. Ooh, Albies almost went the other way with that one, but Eloy's there. Wow, and this dude, this guy who never played in the bigs, he's so generic. He's got generic stance 1. You can recognize it anywhere. Grounder to third. That's an 8th inning from Ohtani. We have to get him some run support. There we go. They're bringing in a lefty. One of their better arms, but I feel like we match up with lefties better, especially Andrew Vaughn. And there we go, no green light. He walks me on 4 straight. We got our base runner. Tying run on first. And I think I'm going to stick with Collins. I feel like I typically actually mash with him lefty-lefty. Ooh, but I saw that PCI. That might change things. Let's take a look. Let's evaluate the situation a bit more. And actually, we might not even have to because he might be the clear option. 75 contact to 53 power. I don't think anybody else is matching that righty or lefty. I trust Zach Collins and his 192 average. Oh, stick that kneecap out there. Who needs it as a catcher? Ah, he went with the off speed. That was like a perfectly placed one too. There we go. Finally, somebody letting it hit him. Get that tying run into scoring position. I'm looking at that hole between first and second there, Moncada. That was probably the exact pitch I should have been looking for to get it between first and second there. Oh, just under it with Moncada. He doesn't have enough power. Not for that kind of swing. Okay, though, this is a good matchup. A lot of contact, a lot of power. That sure neutralizes good hits per 9. That's a decent enough PCI. We got to work with it. Oh, they gave him the call. Okay, fair enough. I don't think I got enough of it. Just barely too much under it. The story of how I play this game. It's always the same swing. Good timing, under it, with half the ball in the PCI. It is just crazy how consistent I am with making that exact kind of swing. If I could make the adjustment to just not be that slightly under it, I would be like the best MLB The Show player. I don't know. I just feel like I couldn't extend Shohei anymore. He probably would have been fine, but I didn't want to regret it. This is a tough spot of the order though. Acuna, Olsen, and Austin Riley. We probably don't want to be leaving a pitch right there. There we go, okay. And we get another chase. Easy there, Acuna. What are you doing? Matt Olson rolling over on it, and of course Turner's gonna get there. Too much speed. Oh, he wanted to chase. And we got him. He did chase. Inside with the circle change would have been ball 4. Our pitching gives us another scoreless inning. But this is our last chance. They're going to Ryan Presley. This is a callback all the way to like episode 7 or 8 or something. He was like the best closer in the league. He was having this ridiculous season. And I think we put up like 3 runs to blow a save for him and win the game. Now he's on a new team. He's regressed a bit. And this is the biggest spot you can ask for. That's still a tough pitch. Even down to an 80 overall, that's a tough pitch. He kept it in the zone. He kept it in the zone. Man, he's just keeping it in the zone. That's all he's doing. There we go, but let it hit you. Stop diving away from the ball. Oh no. Do I really have to complain about the same thing again? Because that's the same exact swing. I didn't get the PCI up far enough this time instead of going too far down, and it's down to TA. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. He's been our hero so far in the postseason. He's hanging it. He's hanging it, and that slider is fooling me enough that it's a good pitch. I'm too early every time it's thrown. And then I was late on the fastball right down the middle because I didn't want to be too early again. That is a rough game 1. That's a real tough one. That is the opposite of what I would have thought one of these matchups would look like. Because, I mean, like we said, it's their hitting, not their pitching that's supposed to be good, but their pitching shut me out and their hitting got shut out once I came into the game. Definitely don't want to be losing game 1. That's not something we do often either, but you know what? At least it was only game 1. We still have a whole series to turn this one around. There's no reason to worry yet. I just think that I was already only planning on doing our scouting and playing game 1, and that game just reinforced it even more. We need a little bit of time to regroup, get back into it later. And what do we have in this second matchup? We're going to be down 1 again. Literally the same spot, or actually no, because this time we got our runner on third with nobody out. So that should be a run that we get across. So hopefully it's basically like entering into a tie game. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna call this one here an unfortunate start, but it's not terrible. It's not the end of the world. So guys, make sure you hit that like button for me and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We are just a week away from MLB 23 coming out, and you better believe episode 1 of the MLB 23 March to October is coming out day 1. At least that's my plan. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can see that. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Thanks for watching as always. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time.